Well, camp time helps us enjoy the presence of God. But something else it does is it slows us down enough to be alerted to some places we might need the protection of God. That pillar of cloud and fire, it was protection, right? It had literally protected them, but it was also just kind of a warning to everybody else. Hey, don't mess around. His protection. In other words, when we come have camp time with God, sometimes he alerts us to a danger before it does damage. And what that usually means is he alerts us to a place that sin is growing in our hearts, that he wants to talk about right now so that it doesn't keep growing into something you don't want it to be later. God often protects us by whispering to us long before he has to shout. Because that's the way sin goes, right? It just pulls us deeper, quicker than we ever thought we would even go. But it gets its claws in us. And so if we get some good camp time, God begins to bring some of those to mind. I don't know anybody that likes the check engine light. I mean, maybe if you're a mechanic and you're like, money, but I don't know anybody that does. I'm not dissing mechanics in general, I'm just saying. I know that not only do I not like it because it means something wrong, but I feel a little bit mocked. Can I just be honest with you guys? I feel a little bit mocked by the check engine light because I know that it knows that I don't know anything about cars. And so it's like, not only you got something going wrong, Carter, but you're so dumb you don't know what to do with it. You're going to have to take it to somebody smarter than you. Now, the check engine light, it alerts us something is going wrong. And if we ignore that, if we know it for 2 weeks, you never know, it might cost you $200. If you ignore it for 6 months, it might cost you $6,000. I mean, depending what's wrong, you might have to replace the entire engine if we don't know. Now, imagine that you could know, though, and you could know with a lot more accuracy than the layperson has with the check engine light that doesn't tell us very much. What if you could have an understanding of you have not long left to fix this, but if you do, a whole bunch of stuff in your life is going to go right. But if you don't, things are going to keep falling apart. The check engine light comes on, and in camp time, we have the opportunity to hear about it. So when you get the subtle reminder, your marriage could use a check-in. Or that anger, man, that feels like that's snowballing uphill. Or you might not be paying enough attention to this relationship over here. Your kid is drifting further and further and further. And it's not just that they need fixed, that they need you to go after them. They need you to spend more time with them. It might be you get the check engine alarm. God just brings it to mind. Maybe I'm spending money a whole lot more than I need to as a way to relieve stress than actually because that's what's wise stewardship. Nothing has exploded yet, but it's his mercy to alert you when it's small so that we can go to him and say, okay, God, I agree with you. It's there. Let me meditate on some scriptures about that thing and then pray for you to remove it and maybe get some accountability about it. So that might look like if I've got real anger issues. I was so proud of a brother recently. He just, out of the blue, just told me, hey, here's a place that I get angry, seemingly when I'm inconvenienced by somebody. Like it'll just shoot off inside of me. And he was telling me for the purpose of one more person to know for accountability's sake. What is that little thing? Find some scriptures about that. Well, in your anger, do not sin. Or let your gentleness be known to all men. I'm reflecting on those passages, and it's kind of like weed killer. It's killing those weeds. And then I bring them to Jesus. God, I need your help. I'm not going to be able to do this on my own. Please kill the weed of anger before it becomes something that hurts somebody in a whole lot bigger way. You hear what we're screaming there? That's how we deal with it. And it's going to lead to maybe some other self-knowledge. That's what happens in camp time. You begin to get aware of who you are, and you're more able to see, oh, these are some of my patterns that maybe I'm just going too fast in other moments to hear. I've personally found, it's not like visual or anything, but it's almost like God begins to give me a screen time report. You ever get those at the end of the week? Like it's on your phone and it just says, you spent this many hours on this kind of website and this many hours on this. And I'm looking at that sometimes I'm like, what? I don't remember doing any of that. Like, that seems like a lot. Was I really doing? And what was I doing? I was doing it unconsciously. I was just doing it. But then I get the report, and I'm like, oh. Well, sometimes we need God's report. He said, you're falling into this pattern. Here's one for me, okay, that he's had to deal with me about. I'm very direct. And especially in younger years, my directness is about the fact that I feel truth very deeply and I want to get it out. But as I get it out, I've been careless about how that might harshly hit somebody. And so I get the screen time report from God. You got to be careful with your mouth, dude. Like, you want truth out there, but you don't want it to cut people coming out. You want it to help them. Maybe you've got maybe someone has told you, you're kind of deflective when you get feedback. And then you immediately were like, no, I'm not. And then you're in camp time and the Lord brings that to your mind. You kind of are, though. You need to receive feedback. And it might go deeper and deeper as he's highlighting the secret things of our hearts that only come up in camp time. I'm telling you guys, we're not smart enough, we're not good enough, we're not moral enough to see all of the nooks and crannies where sin gets in us. And sometimes we just need downtime. God, show me what I cannot see. Where's the way the psalmist says it? Search me, O God, and know my heart. Test me and know my anxious thoughts. Point out anything in me that offends you and lead me along the path to everlasting life. Maybe, is it possible that some folks watching, some folks listening, some folks here, you sometimes feel guilt. But what that guilt is really about, it's kind of a good guilt. It is God giving you self-knowledge. It's God helping you see you're a sinner and you need a Savior. You've got stuff wrong with you that you can barely see and barely touch and barely do anything about. You definitely can't fix it. That's why you need a Savior. Let me give you a question that I use in my camp times with God. What am I pretending not to know? What's quiet in me about my walk with God? About the way I treat people? What did you just kind of pretend that wasn't a problem, but it really was? Sometimes that just triggers your thoughts, and sometimes God uses those thoughts to bring conviction. Hey, we're almost there. I just like to keep preaching. Is that okay?